Now, do dogs go to heaven? What do you think? I bet you guys on this channel believe that dogs go to heaven. I do. Why are dogs here anyway, right? But one of the stories that I have about dogs, and I will share with you, it's a hospice story. I had a lady, I'm going to call her Brandy. Now, these names are, it's not her real name, so I'm not divulging any private matters here. And I knew her a few years ago. She was one of my favorite ladies. And she was an old, in her 80s. She had heart disease. She lived in a house behind her son's house. Okay. And so they were kind of, overseeing her, but I saw her quite often. She lived in my neighborhood, actually. And when I saw her, the son had a dog. And so it was, they visited. You could tell she liked dogs. But when she was actually starting to die and in bed, and this was probably a week or two that she was in bed, not able to get up anymore, not eating or drinking for almost, I would say 10 to 14 days, so quite a while. And we're, her son and I are like, well, what's keeping her here, right? We just could not figure this out. Didn't know any traumas in her life, didn't know, we just didn't know. We know her husband was on the other side. We didn't know why there would be any fear about her going. But so one morning, it was a morning time, early morning, I had a dream, and I saw her sitting on her sofa in her apartment, and I saw coming up to meet her, coming through the door, kind of magically, were two white dogs, and they were sparkly white. They were shimmery, and they looked like those Scottish Highland dogs, the Scottish Terriers. I know there's a name for them. The terrier dogs, the white ones. That's what they look like. And they came running in, and I knew they were heavenly. I just knew it. You could just feel it because they were silvery white, sparkly. And they looked very happy and joyous. So I saw the two dogs coming up to see her. And then the dream kind of went away. So when I went to see her that day, I told the son that I had this dream about the two white dogs coming to see her. And he amazingly said, I had the same dream. I saw her, and he said, she used to have two white dogs, just like you described. So wow, I thought, whoa, this is amazing, right? We just dreamed about her two dogs in spirit. So that's one, that's not the first time I've seen dogs in spirit, but that's just an example. And then she did die that day. And I feel it was those two dogs that came to meet her that helped bring her across the threshold to the other side, the bridge, the tunnel, whatever it is. It was the two dogs that made her cross over. So, and her son did say that he also found a birthday card from her to him that same day, which he had, it just popped up out of nowhere, and it was his birthday that week. So that's kind of amazing too. So definitely, I know dogs greet us. I've seen, as a hospice nurse, also medium, I've seen spirit pets, cats and dogs, and I've seen horses as well, in the room, on the bed, or next to them as they're dying. Now, also, we know, everybody probably knows this, that in nursing homes or retirement facilities, when somebody's starting to die, the cats will stay with that person. I'm talking about the live cats. They'll stay with that person. So animals are very much aware of the spirit world, very much wanting. Also, I think cats are amazing that they really are in tune with that. I know my cat, Apollo, when my German Shepherd was passing, and I didn't know that she was passing, but my cat, one day, my dog was about 9, so not that old really for a German Shepherd. I mean, I know they live probably 9 to 11. There was no indication that she was going to die at all. She was pretty much her normal self. But my cat, when it was my dog and my cat and I together, we were sitting up in the hallway, and I saw my cat looking up to the ceiling and above the dog. And I thought, oh wow, the cat is seeing the angels. And I thought it might mean, I thought this is something. I knew it was more than just a random light. I knew it was important. I knew it was probably the angel of death for my dog. So, and it was. So that evening, she went outside, she walked out, she basically collapsed, and she died. We carried her back in, and she died, right in front of us. So that was unfortunate. That was about 4 years ago. So yes, animals are very much aware. My son just told me today, I've got about a 15-month-old golden retriever, and I've got one in spirit as well. My son just told me a couple hours ago, he said, I saw Lilia, the one who's passed, in the kitchen over the weekend when I wasn't home. And he said, and Isabella, the dog who's alive, saw her as well. I don't know how he saw her, but my son has very good spiritual eyes, so that was a confirmation as well. And Lilia, the one in spirit, shows up a lot in mediumship readings, and has told stories to other mediums about our memories that we had together. So, what a, how dogs steal your heart. And I was going to also mention, can we create our spirit teams? When we decide it's our time to cross over, can we create who we're going to, can we decide, well, I want to meet, my grandmother, my mom, my pet rattlesnake, my, whoever. Can we say, maybe I want to meet Archangel Raphael. Who do you want to meet? I think you can ask. I do think you can create that. But I also think that the spirit world has a plan as well. And I'm guessing, I'm not positive about this, but I'm guessing that your desires and the spirit world's desires co-create the whole union. If you need to meet your dogs before you cross over, or if you need to see your grandmother before you're actually ready to go, or if you don't want to see somebody and they're not going to be there, right? You hope. I had this weekend, I went to go see a man who was seeing visions of his father, and he was starting to transition. He probably had about a week left, but he was seeing visions of his father, who was not very nice to him. Apparently he was an abusive, horrible terror of a father. And so this man was really scared, and he was in his upper 70s. And so, but unfortunately this man, besides having those scary visions of his dad, he also did not believe in an afterlife. And so there was, I would normally maybe work with somebody and say, well, let's call in your angels instead. Or who do you want to see? Let's create, let's ask your grandmother to come forward rather than your father. But since he didn't really have a belief in the afterlife, we couldn't work that way. So basically for that situation, I said, well, to the family, make sure he, stays on his medicine, keeps some anti-anxiety medicine, anti-hallucination medicine, don't miss any doses, keep that going, and hopefully that will help his transition to be easier. And hopefully he'll maybe he'll even start having positive visions before he transitions. So let's just keep our fingers crossed for him. All right, and then, I'm a fan of Cash Peters. You guys probably, some of you know Cash Peters, and I just saw an angel light right there. So fun to see that. Cash Peters does transition pictures, and we don't know exactly, and he doesn't know exactly either. Is it right before they take their last breath, or right after they take their last breath? Is it before they meet the family, or the team, the spirit team? I kind of think, because these are the transition pictures that I'm seeing that he's showing, are about people letting go so that they can actually go through the tunnel, go through the membrane. So to me, that's right before you take your last breath. So you actually have to release and let go. Then you can go through that membrane and go forward through the light, to the light. That's my opinion. I don't know, Cash. Maybe I'll email you. Okay, and I was wondering also, what is the purpose of dog? Because I was looking at my dog today, Isabella, who really is quite a handful at times, and other times she's just the sweetest little angel. And I was looking at her and I thought, you know, her purpose, she's in a good place today. Even my son said it, she seems different today. And I said, you know, she knows what her purpose is today. And that's like all of us. We all would like to know what our purpose is. And I know her purpose is to bring joy to James, my son, and myself, to bring joy in our hearts. And I want to just for a moment, take a moment to see if there's any other, if I connect with the dog spirit, the overall arching dog spirit. I'm going to try this now and just see what messages I might bring. Well, first of all, there is a dog spirit. There is an overall arching dog spirit. And don't ever think that there isn't. It's very strong. It's very strong. I see like the gates, an archway, and there's a big white. It's like a big white angel or energy being at the dog gate, the gate for dog heaven. The heaven, though, this dog heaven is people and dogs and cats. So it's actually all kinds of beings in this, because there's water, there's fish, there's nature, and the dogs have this freedom. Oh wow, there's no cruelty. There is no punishment of any sort. It's just pure love. And this is especially healing for the dogs that have had a hard life. But even the dogs that haven't, I see the dogs that haven't had a hard life helping the other dogs heal. The ones that need it. And I'm seeing a lot of puppies here too. Okay. For some reason, I am seeing a lot of fish in this, and I'm not sure if I feel like the fish are going up and down, like something like to play with. So I'm not sure what that's about. But it's a feeling of nourishment. It's almost like the food. Like fish would be their food, and it feels very nourishing. Like if I'm a dog and I'm taking in that fish, it feels like the vibration is really high. Okay, and it's healing. This fish, I'm surprised I'm talking about fish here, but the fish feels very like it heals the joints, it heals the brain, it heals the heart, it heals the whole intestines and all the organs. Wow. Okay, and as I'm tuning into the dogs here, and I am, especially fond of dogs, so it's really hard to not have a tear here because, oh my goodness. But I see like little silvery on their toenails. I see the toenails are kind of silvery. Nothing hurts. It's everything is sparkly, beautiful. There is not a single ache and pain. All the dogs get along. There is no there's no power issues, struggles, or fights. Okay, and the dogs who like to play ball, there's balls, but I'm seeing the balls more like sunflowers. Oh, and the balls go really high and really far, really high. And the dogs can jump in the air, and magically, they're catching the balls, and it doesn't hurt their back or anything like that when they land again. It's really, really fun. They can also chase things in the air, other things in the air, like little airplanes and things like that. They really, honestly, this is a great time they're having. Again, this is my perspective. My body apparatus here, tuning into the dog heaven, which I've never done before, by the way, first time. All right, there's just beautiful grass, no fleas. There's a few bees. I see some bees, but it's more like play. It's more, yeah, it's more like attraction. It's keeping the dogs kind of busy watching the bees. But wow, it is so healing. The people, I see the beings that I see there, they're more like, I guess they're angels. But I'm seeing more like white balls of energy that are overseeing this dog heaven. And I do know as well, though, that our spirit people watch our dogs too. So let me see how that works. How do the spirit people, they just come and go. Okay. Well, as soon as the dog or the spirit person thinks about each other, then they're together again. And the dog can easily travel with the person. I don't think, they're not going to be randomly, they're going to either be, it looks to me, okay, my perspective here, that they've got this world, dog world kind of, so like a huge dog park or something, and then they can leave it, but they're going to, when they leave it, they're with a human, a spirit human, who takes them around and is with them, and also maybe goes to see his family and takes them on walks and things like that, protects them and guides them when they're outside of that realm. I hope this makes sense. It actually kind of sounds nice. Okay. I see, so I'm just all of a sudden noticing cats, but I think the cats are in like a different section or something. Yeah, that cat. But some dogs really like cats. You know, sometimes they do, depends on the dogs. We'll just stick with the dogs right now. The dogs really like to be in the sun, and they like to get to sunbathe. And they feel very healed here, very much healing. Thank you. All right, thank you, Spirit. So I hope that this was something that was meaningful, perhaps sparked a little bit of imagination. Perhaps you can think of who you would like to meet you when on your time when you cross. Hopefully that's not soon. Hopefully you've got many more days and years ahead. But anyway, I will just leave you with that. I have more videos to come. I want to talk about vibration again. I'm going to feed off of Susan Lynn's Raise Your Vibration. I've got some ideas about that, like color and gratitude and anyway, some other things to add in that. So thank you very much, and I will see you again next time.